What's up? What's up, my people? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. It is Friday, my dudes. All right. Let's get started, man. Shit. All right. As you can see, I've already kind of grown out my beard. No shave November, baby. So we are here. I know I'm looking a little shabby, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If this is a good look for me, if I should keep this. Obviously, I don't want to grow it out too much. It's gonna look a little too rugged. But let's just see what happens. You guys can leave some comments and let me know what you guys think. So that's what it looks like now. So cool. Today I'm going to be talking to you people about flying out of the freaking country, man. We all want to freaking fly out of the country, man. We've all had that dream of like, oh man, I need to get my feet off the ground, man. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of my experience of what I went through when I was flying and my first time on the plane and all the stupid shit that I did at the airport and when I was booking my flight and all the things that I could have avoided. That's the whole point of this discussion. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on like what can you guys do better when you're flying for the first time. Um, and I'm kind of doing this channel. I got inspiration to do this um, because one of my friends, Sab, obviously, she managed to fly. So it's good that she's traveled. No wonder she's not here to join us. Normally, she'd be the first one in the freaking chat over there, like, hey, I can't do this, I can't do that. What's going on with this? But it's good that she's taken a vacation and got the chance to fly. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just talk about my experiences when I was on the plane. So let's get started. So I'm gonna break this video down into like one, two, three, four sections. Okay. So the first section is talking about buying your ticket and the whole booking process. The second section is packing for your trip. So how you pack your luggage and all that kind of shit, and what kind of things to pack, and then the types of flights that you can get. And then the fourth thing I want to talk about is when you're at the airport, what to do or what not to do. Don't fuck it up when you get to the airport. Don't act like a freaking buffoon like all the other idiots that are there. So you want to do something. You want to behave and act like a normal human being and be as efficient as possible, so that you can just get on your freaking flight, get on your plane, don't miss your flight. Uh, and then just reach your destination in one piece, like a normal human being. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I think if I can put my notes over here so we can just go through them so you guys can also see the do's and don'ts. So let me just put this over here so you guys can have a quick look. I'll just hide those bookmarks. You guys don't want to see those. All right, so the do's and don'ts. Buying your ticket and the whole booking process. Let me pause this for a second here in the background. Or, well, I can just play it. I don't give a shit. Cool. Do's and don'ts. So buying your ticket and the whole booking process. So from the experiences that I've had, there are a lot of third-party sellers of tickets out there. They're going to come in. They're going to tell you, we can give you better prices. So for instance, if you want to buy a ticket from Kenya Airways, there are going to be multiple third-party resellers that are going to have the same Kenya Airways ticket, but they will be selling it at a discounted price. These are third parties. So a third party example could be lastminute.com. Well, that's the only one. Booking.com and all these other websites. I don't really remember the others off the top of my head, but there's so many. They're like a gazillion. And especially when you go onto Google or you just search the interwebs or the web or the internet for tickets to a certain place, a destination, the first thing that will pop up is these third-party sites. And the one thing that I can recommend is using third-party sites. Yes, of course, you can get really good deals, but there are a couple of things that you need to be aware of when you're buying tickets from third-party sites. Is these guys, if anything happens and you miss your flight or you want to change the date or anything, you want to amend anything on that freaking booking, just trust me, it's going to be one hell of a pain in the ass to just try and get that sorted out, because you'll have to contact them. They will have to then contact the actual flight, the actual company that is the airlines basically, and then they will have to then make the amendment. Then they will get back to the third party. Then the third party get back to you, and it's such a long and tedious process. And on top of that, they will charge you a lot of fees, hidden transaction fees, not transaction fees, but like hidden costs involved in making all these amendments. So you have to be mindful of this bullshit. So so that's the only drawback with buying a third party from a third party. The advantages, obviously, it's cheap. And if you think about it, cheaper is kind of expensive in the long run. So you don't have that assurance if you're not 100% sure that I will be able to make it for this. Look, something can happen. You reach the airport, let's say maybe your visa is not valid, or maybe your luggage is too, well, not because of luggage. Well, maybe it could be because of luggage. Maybe you're carrying things that are so overweight, and you're not, you're not meeting the deadline, the weight prerequisites that they've set. You'll not be able to board that flight, and they'll be like, yeah, sorry, we can't let you board. Or you get too late for your flight. Maybe you get delayed, there's some taxi problem or something happens, and you miss your flight. You miss it, you want to change that date, you are screwed. Going through a third party is one of the worst things. So what I normally do is, the first thing I do is I use Google Flights. Google Flights is such an awesome feature. You just come here, just type in Google Flights, and then you just say, I want to go to, let's say, for instance, I want to go to Paris, for instance, right? I'm just saying an example, Orly Airport or whatever, and I want to travel out on a certain date, and I want to come back on a certain date. Google Flights already gives you a price graph. It already starts telling you, oh, okay, if you want to fly out on the 9th, that's going to be 89 pounds. If you fly out on the 10th, that'll be 69 pounds. I'm like, shit, I want to fly out on the 10th then. And when do I want to fly back? Let's see. Oh, 24th is 78 pounds. So that's really cheap. A 2-week journey, and that's, it's already recommending cheaper flights for me. And I'm like, shit, that's amazing. So you want to go through Google Flights. Google Flights is like the best way to actually search for cheaper deals. And one more thing that you want to make sure is you want to put the price tracker. So you want to track prices. Obviously, don't freaking buy your flight the next day. If you're going to fly out the next day, don't book for a ticket. You're flying out the next day. Unless if you're a multi-millionaire, then you can afford it, and it doesn't really matter because they're going to charge you like 3 or 4 times the price. But if you want to normally fly out, you book your holiday like 2 or 3 months or a month in advance at least, and then you'll be able to get good deals. And you place the price tracker on. So when you set that price tracker, what happens is you'll get emails every time the prices go down, and you can instantly go and purchase the ticket. And it also tells you who is selling. So when you select the journey, so let's say I select this journey and I select this journey as a return ticket, it will tell you, are you buying it from, so this is Viewling. Viewling is selling the whatever, the ticket. And you can even see the price graph of like when the prices were really good, when you should have actually bought this freaking ticket. So if you look at that, it was up 64 pounds, it went up to 69, came down to 56, and then it's just been climbing ever since 78 right now, and it's still relatively cheaper compared to the rest of the season. So it all depends on when you're booking. So make sure you use the price tracker, and make sure you use the price graph. What's the price graph? So let me show you guys what the price graph is. So if I clear this out right now, so let's say I want to fly to London. I want to fly to Nairobi, for instance, right? I want to go to Nairobi, JKIA. I want to fly out on, let's say, for instance, I want to fly out in January. I don't know who the hell wants to fly out in January, but let's say January 12th. I want to fly out on January 12th. I want to come back on the 26th of January. Okay. So it goes and finds the flights that are the cheapest. So you can see Turkish Airlines is there, Emirates is there, British Airways is there. So there's all these other options. Rispar, holy shit, it's been a while. I'm doing well. Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, you have a question. Is it bad? Is it bad hair day? Yeah, I need to go to a barber. I haven't shaved, and I haven't gotten a haircut in a while. It's no shave November, man. That's basically what I'm doing. It's really good to hear from you. It's good that you're still alive and alive and well, so that's good to hear from you. And thank you for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it. I was literally just talking about flights. I don't know what else to say. I mean, yeah, if you think that this hair is a bit too jumbly and messy, yeah, I will get a haircut. I will go towards the end of this month, after No Shave November ends. I will then go and get all this bird's nest. I'll get a haircut. It's literally so long. It's yeah. Like when I get out of the shower, I have to like tie a ponytail in the back. It's fucked up. I will get it sorted out. And what do you think about the beard? Do you think I should keep it? It's like a new look. Some people say it's like I look too shabby. I look homeless, man. Look at this. Because like there was a friend of mine that I called, and when they literally just saw me, they were like, "What the fuck, man? You look like you're homeless. Is everything okay? You look sick." It's not normally my look. I'm not normally like this, yeah, and you know that. But yeah, it's good that you're here, and I'm glad to hear from you. So let me know. Let me know in the comments what what you think. Anyway, so I was talking about the flights. Yes. So yeah, so yes, obviously, so you want to see the price graph. So the price graph shows up over here. So you select the price graph, and what this does is now you can see on the top over here it says 14-day trip. So if I want to travel to Nairobi for 14 days, it will tell me 14-day round trip. It will tell me, okay, these are the prices that you can get available. Obviously, the higher the bar, the more the price. So you can see prices ranging from 744 all the way down to like 472, which is amazing. So I can then make plans accordingly, because it's like, oh, if I can get a cheaper flight, 472, that's a really good deal. Actually, 472 is a really good deal. So yeah, so you just book according to that. Okay. Another thing is making sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months, man. Some of you people, man, you don't even like. I know you've got a passport, that's fine, but is it valid for at least 6 months? You want to travel abroad, and just double check that this thing is valid for the next 6 months, or valid for the next couple of months that you're going to go and visit that country. Like if you're going to go and visit Nairobi, it should be valid for. Like, if you're going to go visit Nairobi for 3 months, it should be valid for at least 3 or 4 months. Um, Virgin passport, or has it been stamped multiple times? So yes, of course, you can have a valid passport, but all the pages on the passport, they're going to get stamped every time you travel, right? And depending on the country that you travel to and from. Some countries, they don't stamp. You don't even meet anyone. Like here in the UK, when you come and you have a British passport and you get to the counter, you just scan it. There's no one to stamp your passport. About the beard as well. Why can't you shave the hair and leave the beards this time? It's beard, not beards. Uh, I'm craving to see the new hairstyle. Thank you so much. Yes, I think yeah, I will get a good haircut. I get like something like a fade or something. Okay, not a fade. I think that'll be a bit too much. I'll just get like a decent, just a simple haircut. Yeah, I think you've seen me in a shorter hairstyle. Um, just something that doesn't make me look homeless. Yes, and I'll shape up the beard as well. I think I'll just make like a proper like line. I'll line it up a little bit, I guess. uh, yeah, yeah, I know. Normally, if I shave this off, I'm gonna look sweet 16. Yeah, I know. I am an old man, man. I don't know. It's fine. It's just okay, okay. Moving on, moving on. What was I talking about? Yes. So your Virgin passport. So, sometimes if your passport you've traveled a lot, it has been stamped a lot. Just make sure you've got some extra pages on your passport so that when you travel with it, even if it's valid, it has some pages on it so that you can get stamped and you won't get some problems at the freaking check-in and check-out places. I've already talked about buying from the third parties and directly from the airlines. It's always better to buy from the airlines directly. Obviously, they will be slightly more expensive compared to buying from a third party. Don't forget to check in online and get your ticket as a PDF on your phone. This I have to mention. Okay, I gotta mention this. I've seen a lot of people at the airport with their families, your mom, the guy's wife, the guy's kids, and the guy has printed out all the tickets and the check-in and the terms and conditions of the airline, all in a fat freaking PDF file like that, like a big freaking folder like that, and he's walking around in the airport like, oh, look at me, I have all my tickets. You freaking moron. Save the planet, man. Think about the planet, okay? Uh, these days, you can have your tickets on your freaking phone. You just have your phone on you. Just have your phone. It's on a PDF. I mean, how difficult is that? You check in online. Check in 24 hours before your departure time. Okay, you check in. You log into the website. You put your PNR and your last name in, the one that you used to register with, and you just get your freaking your online ticket. Save it as a PDF in your downloads folder. Okay, don't freaking WhatsApp it to yourself. Put it in your downloads folder so that when you get to the counter and that lady is like, "Can I see your ticket?" You start opening your freaking WhatsApp and you start going through like all your messages. I think then you start getting messages. Just put in your downloads folder. It's there. It's ready to go. When I travel, I just have my phone. I have my debit card and I have my what else? And my SIM or something like that. That's it. I have like 3 or 4 things with me, and I just put them in a pouch. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But just simplify your life, man. You don't want to end up with like all these papers and like documents, and you have like your passports are here, and then your tickets are here, and your debit cards in your pocket. It's like it's all over the place. When you get there, you're just a complete mess. Just please, if you've watched this video, please just do that. Otherwise, I will not be your friend. Okay, let's talk about packing for your trip. Okay, make a list of the essentials that you need and estimate. A lot of people, what they end up doing is they will just open a suitcase. The suitcase is just sitting on the freaking floor over there, and it's going to be sitting there for a week. And you're going to fly out on a Saturday. The suitcase has been opened from Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way till Saturday. It's just sitting over there on the floor in the middle of the freaking house. You're just dumping things inside there. Huh, should I carry this? Maybe I should buy 2 of these and then put them in this. You fucking moron. Just sit down, open up a document, make a list. Or if you don't have a computer, just pen and paper. Make a list of the things that you need. Write it down. When you write it down, it's off your mind. It's on a piece of paper. You can check it. You can validate and say, okay, this thing's it's on the list. I can put it in my suitcase. It's done. I don't need to think about this, right? Normally, what I do is I itemize my list, and I also I put the weights next to the item. So it's like, okay, I estimate, okay, this is going to be a pair of shoes, 500 grams or like half a kg or something. Okay, not half a kg, but I mean 200 grams for like a pair of shoes, some clothes, some jackets, heavy things. Fine, you put it like I travel with my skateboard. I traveled with my mic once, so I estimated the weight, and so you put it all in a list, and then you see, okay, you estimate this is going to be like 23, 30 kgs. Fine, cool. Then you can remove things and see what you need, what you don't need. It's so much easier, Once you've made that list and you know everything that's going to go into the suitcase, then start packing. I mean, how difficult is that? Plan and then do. Don't do and then plan. Okay? Uh, Make sure to double check the luggage allowances, the size and the weight. Oh, fuck. A lot of people make this mistake. So you've bought your ticket, right? Let's say you've booked your ticket, you're traveling to London. Wow, you're so excited, you're happy. Go back on the website, okay, and check with the airlines what is the maximum baggage allowance? What is the size of the bags that are allowed? The size. Most people only check the weight. Check the size. Confirm that the size of the suitcase, the size of the carry-on bag. You don't want a freaking carry-on bag that's the size of a suitcase and say, oh, this is a carry-on. Just double check that the size, the dimensions of that suitcase or that thing that you're carrying is to the specifications of what the airlines is telling you to freaking carry. So the size is very important. And then the number of items that you can carry. and how much weight per item. Now, this is a mistake that I did once the first time I flew. And I'm just, when I think about it, I'm like, fuck. Okay, it made sense to me, but it's a very stupid thing that I did. Now, when I bought the ticket to London, it told me you can carry 2 suitcases and each suitcase has to be 23 kgs. So in my head, I was like, I have one big suitcase. What if I don't check in 2 suitcases and I check in 1 suitcase, but the suitcase maximum weight can be 46 kgs because 23 and 23, right? It makes sense. No, you'll be fucking kicked out of the freaking airport. Don't freaking do that. When I got there, they told me if you're checking in 1 suitcase needs to be 23 kgs. Even if you're allowed 2 suitcases and each has to be 23, regardless. So you can't have 46 kgs in one suitcase and be like, oh, but it's 1 suitcase. No, I know this is so stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, but this is how the airlines work. It's so stupid. I mean, it's all going to go into the freaking plane anyway. But this is how they want it. They say you have to have 2 suitcases. Each of them have to be 23 kgs. Here's another thing I realized. When they say 23 kgs, it doesn't really need to be 23.0. It can be 23.9 to the max. Okay, so you can max it out. So you don't stop at 23. You can still add a couple of grams there until it goes to 23.9. But you have to be very if you're paying attention to details and you know how, and you're using a proper weighing scale, then yes, you can pull those stunts off, and I've done those stunts. so so do that. Also, another thing is if it is 24, like let's say it's 23.9, but it hits 24, make sure that your carry-on bag or whatever that you're carrying is not like normally the carry-on bags are like 7 kgs. They give you 7 kgs allowance. Make sure it's not 7 kgs. Just make it like 5 or like 4 kgs. Just carry a laptop, something light, and that carry on. And then if by chance that they start complaining, because flights they'll always do that. Those fuckers, they'll always do this shit. They'll start saying, oh, it's 1 kg, it's a 1 kg above. Just open the thing right there on the spot. Just take out like one shoe or something and just put it in your carry-on and be like, now weigh it, bitch. Weigh it now. So you can always do that, and just to save yourself the hassle of, oh, go back to the back of the line, start taking out your stuff in front of everyone. Yeah, you don't want to do that, man. Okay. Trick. If it can't fit in the suitcase, wear it. This is a fantastic trick that I used to do. Sometimes I used to have like really heavy jackets and really heavy shoes, and if I put them in the suitcase, the weight is just gonna go crazy. So there is no limit on how many clothes you can wear when you go to the airport, okay? And I'm telling you this from experience. Just wear as many jackets and as many whatever sweaters that you can. Of course, if you're not in a hot country, like here in the winter, you can wear like 3 jackets and you'll be fine, you know. But of course, when you reach Kenya, then you're gonna be fucked because you'll have all these jackets that you can't wear and it's super hot and you've landed there. It's like what? So try and see where are you traveling to? Is it gonna be a cold country? Then wear as many jackets as you can because well, it depends. If you want to carry them, of course. If you don't want to carry them, then why the freaking hell are you wearing them? Just wear them. Wear stuff that you want to go with, but you can't go with because your luggage is already full. Put on like 2, 3 jackets on top. Wear like 2 socks. Wear like 2 underwears. Just put it on. There is no limit of how many clothes you can wear. But I think this is the next thing. Do not wear jewelry, chains, watches, shoes. Shoes you can, I guess. It depends. If the shoes are easy to remove, because they are going to tell you to remove your shoes, especially here in London. At Heathrow Airport, they'll tell you to remove your shoes and remove any jewelry, chains, watches, anything metallic, obviously. And they're not going to allow you to carry drinks and anything liquid on you. So if you've got perfumes, juices, sodas, whatever, just don't freaking carry that shit. They're not going to let you get through. No liquids allowed whatsoever. Medication, yes, of course, if you've got a prescription for that, then that's fine. But otherwise, yeah, all your liquid shit, just put that in your suitcase. Don't put it in your carry-on or in your pockets or whatever. Okay, so try and keep yourself without a lot of stuff. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just wear clothes that are easy to remove and take on and put on. Um, and yeah, and carry a pillow or carry like a blanket or a small thing that you can carry on, just to, put your head on when you're in the plane or when you're in the waiting lounge. It's just easier. Okay. Uh, Carry some painkillers, antacids, empty bottle to be filled later on. This is a really cool trick that I kind of realized. Sometimes you're sitting in the plane for 9 hours, 8 hours, you're having a headache, you're like really exhausted, you're like, fuck, man, when is this freaking thing gonna end, man? You're just cramped there in your small seat, and you can't really move, and I'm gonna talk about the seats and all that later on. So you have to remember that, the flight attendants might not have medication. They might not really, I mean, they will, but it's so difficult to like raise your hand or like, turn on the light so that, they come and then they start giving you the medication. It's like they take forever to give you whatever, even a glass of water. You know, you're like, hey, can I have some juice? Yeah, sure. Then she'll walk all the way till the end of the aisle, get the water. Then she'll find some other people she'll talk to. Then she'll finally come to you like, 2 hours later. By that time, you're like, do I even want this freaking water? So just carry your own. Carry an empty bottle so you can fill it when you're inside the airport. There are a lot of places that you can get free water that you can just fill up your water bottle. Carry your painkillers, carry antacids if you've got like stomach problems and stuff like that. Risper, I'm pretty sure you've done nursing. You know all of this stuff. Why am I even saying this? And then what else? Yes, and then your cash, your ticket, your passport should be in a pouch or a pocket that is very accessible to use, and just put it in one place. Put it in one place that you are mindful that you know that no one can freaking come in. Like, some people, they get pouches that they can just like latch on and like belt it to their chest or something like that, or they put it on a belt buckle or something like that, or they have like one dedicated pocket to just host your passport, your ticket, and your cash. That's it. So try and do that, because it's like you don't want to have your passport in one pocket, your cash in another pocket, your ticket in another pocket. So when you get to the counter, you're like, okay, 1 second, let me check my WhatsApp. No, you don't want to do that. Please, just don't do that. You're gonna look like a fucking idiot. Just get your stuff ready in the pack in one place. You just dump it there on the desk. Like, look, at everything's here. Okay, your visa, your passport, your everything. Visas are even online, like they're all electronic these days. So it's literally just your phone and your passport, and you're good enough. Don't think about printing a lot of shit. Okay. Um, Swap your SIM to the new country before you take off. You don't want to fucking do this when you land. Okay, just before you're gonna take off. So, like, remember when I told you carry your wallet and everything in one place? So you have your SIM inside there. The SIM. If you have a SIM, I have a Kenyan line. Before I fly out, what I do is I just switch the SIM in my phone while I'm waiting to board. At that time, you've got like an hour, 40 minutes. You're just sitting there doing nothing. Switch your SIM. You're not gonna use your line. Once you get on the plane, you just switch off. Rispa, what are you saying? Every time I'm traveling, between me and my nursing, I only carry paracetamol. Yep, that's true. Don't forget to talk about charger. Oh, yes, absolutely. Well said. So chargers, of course, very important. You can carry them in your laptop bag. If you've got a charging bank, that's very important. That's a really good point, Rispa. That's nice. So yeah, don't forget your chargers. Don't forget your headphones. If you've got noise canceling headphones, that's beautiful. Carry those things. Um, yeah, and so for the charger, sometimes you might not get a place to plug in to a socket, but you might have a place that you can plug into a USB port. When you're on the plane, most planes these days, and from what I've seen, they always have a USB port next to the screen. So you can carry a charger that can detach from the cable, and the cable can just go into a USB port, and you plug in and charge your phone. And that's perfect. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to use your phone. You wouldn't have network. So if you've got content or music on your phone, yeah, you might as well just put that on that. But I would always recommend I mean, the plane already has good content on it. It's got like movies and stuff that you can just watch and games and things. You can spend time doing that shit. But if you've got a laptop or you've got a phone, just fill it up with content and movies that you want to watch while you're on the plane. It's just so much easier. Yeah, so I already talked about swapping your swim, not swim. Okay, um, the type of flights. So obviously you can do stopover flights or you can do non-stop flights. These days I don't do stopovers, man. I used to do stopovers, but those days are long gone, man. Well, it depends. It depends on the journey and where you're going, but mostly I prefer non-stop flights. It's just easier. You get on a plane, when you get off, you're at your destination. Stopover flights suck, and you have to be very mindful of where are you stopping over and for how long. These are very important. So when you're purchasing your ticket, you must look at how many stopovers are you going to have and how long is the stopover. If the stopover is 1 hour, you have to remember this. If the stopover is 1 hour and your first flight gets delayed, you're screwed because the second flight's not going to wait. The second flight's just going to take off. And if you miss your second flight, your connecting flight, you're screwed. You'll either have to pay for a visa to live, to stay, to spend the night in that country that they've dropped you off in. So, for instance, when I was flying from Nairobi to London for the first time, I stopped over at Doha Airport, Doha International Airport in Qatar. And oh man, that airport is amazing. I'm going to show you some videos of that place. Fuck, man, that airport is amazing. Man, what an airport was that? Shit, it had a freaking. Okay, we'll talk about that later. So you stopped over at the airport. You get fascinated. Something happens. You get distracted. Holy shit, what an amazing airport. You only have 1 hour. 1 hour will fly by so quickly because the airport, you could be stopped over at an airport that's humongous. Maybe you'll have to spend like, uh, you know, hours or minutes just to get from one terminal to the next or from one gate to the next. So, you have to be mindful of that. Maybe it'll be a 15-minute walk, depending on how fast you can walk. I think I even have a video of like myself walking in one of these tracks that shows you. Yeah, so this is called a fast track. So you're walking on this thing. So you can see people are walking on the side. So you can walk on the side if you don't want to stand, you don't want to walk on this thing. It just helps you walk faster. It's like an escalator, but it doesn't go up. It's just flat. And so it helps you walk faster and you reach your destination faster because the freaking airports are humongous. And the Doha airport was so freaking big. They had a car showroom, a car showroom in the airport. You just sit there and you can freaking look at cars, Tesla cars, man. You could buy a car. It's like, am I landing here and buying a car and driving off or what? It was that humongous. And I got distracted. And next thing I know, I only had like 10 minutes to board my freaking, the connecting flight. So make sure that you're mindful of this shit. And always, in the event that you miss your connecting flight, you are going to pay. You're going to pay. They're going to charge you. Nothing's for free in this world. They're going to charge you for missing your connecting flight. They're going to charge you for a visa if you have to stay. If you're in the airport, then fine. But if it's like maybe your next flight can be maybe tomorrow or 2 days after. Who knows? You might have to spend a couple of nights at the airport. And some airports are pretty cool. Like the Doha airport, freaking have a swimming pool in that place. They have a car show in that place. I mean, I don't mind getting lost in that place. I mean, what am I saying? Okay. Flights longer than 4 hours should have meals. Yes, of course. I don't know if it's 4 hours. I don't remember exactly how many hours it is, but if it's more than a certain amount of hours, they will give you a meal. So if, for instance, when I was flying the non-stop 9-hour flight, London to Nairobi, they will serve you a three-course. Is it a three-course? It's not three-course, but like three meals. Like they'll give you breakfast, and then they'll give you lunch, and then they'll give you like afternoon tea with like some biscuits and cake or whatever, which is really nice. You get to, you're up there in the sky and you getting all this food. So it's really nice. It's a really nice experience. I like to travel during the day because you don't get the jet lag. Uh, So it also depends. Like if you're going on a vacation, then it doesn't really matter. You can just travel overnight or whatever. But I normally like to travel during the day because then when I land in Nairobi, because it's a 9 hour flight, I leave at like 9 in the morning here. Not nine, yeah, 9 in the morning or 10:30 in the morning here, and by 6 or 7 o'clock or something like that, 8 o'clock, I'm in Kenya, something like that. So you get there by like it's dark, it's night, so you're ready to sleep. You're already exhausted, and then you can carry on the routine for the next day because once you land there, you're just dead. You just drop dead. You're like, I want to sleep. So you don't get that jet lag. Obviously, when you're coming back, sometimes I might not get a daytime flight, so I'll have to fly overnight, and those ones really suck. So anyway, okay, let's talk about seat selection. So in a plane, obviously, you know that you've got two aisles, and then we've got the middle aisle, and you've got the right aisle that's next to the windows, you've got the left aisle that's next to the windows, and then the center aisle that's now just the center aisle. And the center aisle has like four seats, and normally on smaller planes, the center aisle has like four seats. The ones on the right, on both left and right, have like three seats. And I normally like to take the window seats. I love window seats because you get to see views like these. Look at that. It's just amazing. You get to see how the plane takes off. You get to see the city, before it takes off and gets into the clouds. You get to see the clouds. You get to see the sunset. You get to see a sunrise. It's just beautiful. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I love window seats. So now let's talk about the seating etiquette and how do you use the armrests. Okay, the armrests are very important. Okay, so the armrest etiquette. I think is that part of the. Did I put that in the list over here? Noise and armrest etiquette. Yes. So your armrest etiquette is as follows. If you're sitting next to the window and your window is on the left, then the armrest on the left is your armrest. Obviously, I mean, no one else can reach that armrest, so that's yours. You are allowed to sit like this. You're not allowed to sit with your right armrest. This is the etiquette. If you didn't know this, now you know. You sit like this, so you can use the left armrest. You can obviously sit without that. You don't have the armrest, or you can just use. So you're next to the window. Window's on the left. You're on the left seat. Left armrest is yours. No one can touch that. You do not touch the right armrest. That's not yours. That belongs to the person on the right. Now the person on the right is now going to be sitting in the middle. Okay, he's going to be sitting between you and he's going to be you're going to be on his left, and there's going to be another person on his right. So he's in the middle. The person in the middle has both armrests. He has the right to use both. You cannot tell him jack shit. So you have to. That's the etiquette. And then obviously, then the person on the right, he has the right armrest, doesn't have the left one because he's also got like some leg room and he's got the aisle basically. Another thing you have to remember, and this is one of the drawbacks of taking a window seat, you have to remember that every time you want to go to the freaking loo, you're gonna have to make two people stand up. Okay, so you better freaking make sure that you're not the kind of person that needs to constantly keep going to the loo every 2 minutes. You don't want to sit in a window aisle if you know every 2 minutes. Yeah, you want to sit next to the aisle, obviously. Then at that point, just freaking select a seat next to the aisle. The etiquette for going to the loo when you're sitting next to the window is the minute you see the person next to the aisle get up to go to the loo, that's the time you'll be like, oh, you know what? Since you're getting up, I want to get up and use the loo as well. So it's just convenient for everyone. So you have to be mindful of these kind of things. It sucks. It sucks. But when you're flying economy, this is how it is. It doesn't work like that in business class and first class, obviously. But this was my experience when I was in economy. You have to just remember and be mindful of other people because you're not alone. Reclining your seat. So let's talk a little bit about reclining your seat and talk about the seatbelt sign. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you a story about the freaking time that I did put my seatbelt on. Okay, I'll tell you that story later. So reclining your seat. When you get onto the freaking seat and you've just sat down, Some people are such fucking idiots. The first thing that they're gonna do is they'll just press the button and just recline their seat right back, all the way back, and they don't give a shit about who's sitting in the back over there. They'll just recline it all the way back and go like, "Fuck you, man. I'm just having a good time. I'm just here to relax." And that's where the air hostesses they come in and be like, you know what, you need to fucking put your seat upright when we're taking off and landing and all that about bullshit. And even when they're serving food, they're gonna tell you to put your seat upright. And they just do that because it's courteous. Because some people don't give a shit about other people. They will even like recline their seat all the way back and eat their meal like that. When they serve their food, they don't care. They're just gonna recline their seat all the way back. I mean, it's economy. We wouldn't really recline that much, but they'll still recline it and still eat their meal like that. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Have some shame. Because if the person ahead of you has reclined their seat and your tray, your food tray, is on their seat and their seat's reclined, how the fuck are you supposed to eat? So be mindful of that shit, okay? When the stewardess or whatever, the air hostess tells you like freaking just put your seat up, man. Just do it. Now the seatbelt sign. I remember after we had taken off, we were in the air, and this was a night flight. I was flying from Nairobi to London, and we were up in the air. I think 2 hours into the flight, and suddenly I noticed that the lights just turned on because it was a night flight. They normally turn off the lights in the cabin so that you can sleep, kind of sleep if you can. But they suddenly turned on the lights, and then they switched on the seatbelt sign. Now I was sitting next to a lady, and I think she had a drink on her tray, and I quickly put my seat upright and I put my seatbelt on. Like the minute I saw that light, I was like, let me just put the seatbelt on because you don't know. Look, the pilot is the one that can determine if there's freaking air turbulence up ahead. If there's air turbulence, you know what's gonna fucking happen? The plane's gonna do this. You're just gonna whoop. That's what the plane's gonna do. The plane's gonna do like a quick hop like that, and you're in the plane. You're gonna be fucked. You're just gonna be jerked up to the sky. Now this woman next to me, and she had her soda. Man, what a stupid woman. I told her, like, okay, I didn't tell her, but I told her in my mind. I was like, that's what I did. I didn't really tell her. Like, I just looked at her like, can't you fucking see the seatbelt sign on? And she was like, no, I'm just having my soda, watching my movies, having a good time. Woo. And next thing I know, the plane just did exactly what I just told you. And literally she just jumped up, her soda, she just spilled it on herself, and I was just there like, oh man, I'm so mean. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, and then after that incident is when she put the seatbelt on. And funny thing is, after that they told us to take the seatbelt off, so they switched off the seatbelt sign. So it was just so hilarious. She had her seatbelt on. She had the seatbelt on the whole time until we landed, and it was just like, oh, it was so funny, man. But anyway, everyone has a different experience. I was just like, what the fuck, man. Anyway, okay. Okay, so when you're at the airport, find your gate first and then roam around and do all the shopping that you want to do. Yes, of course. It's common sense, man. When you get at the airport and you're finally checked in, you've given the stewardess your suitcases and you've got your ticket and your boarding pass and everything, and now you're just waiting for them to call you so you can get into the plane. Just know where the freaking gate is. So I think I have a video of myself sitting over here looking for the gate. Yeah, obviously, so you're gonna be sitting here, and no, not over here. Sorry, hold on a second. There's another place. Yeah, there you go. So you see those boards on the top of there. They're gonna be all over the place, so you can easily find your gate. It's very important when you get inside here in the waiting lounge, know where your gate is. If they tell you, okay, maybe the gate is not available at this time, but they'll also tell you the time that the gate number will be available. Once you know that time, Then you can go to your all your duty free shops and just muck around and take pictures of like planes and shit. And I think I took like some selfies of like, yeah, go and check out the planes, take some selfies, do all that stupid shit. Buy some snacks if you're if you're this is fucked up. I don't know why I did this, but one of my friends was like, "Oh, can you buy some stuff for me?" I was like, "Oh fuck, man." And it's like when you tell one person you're traveling, it's like it spreads like wildfire. Oh, you're traveling? Why don't you get me this too? Never again will I ever share when I'm traveling because this is what you make me do, man. You make me buy all this shit. Anyway, so just know when your gate is there. Okay. Once you know the gate, then just go and do whatever the fuck you want to do. And then just look at the time and be like, okay, the gate's going to open at this time, or this is the time that I need to be at the gate. Okay? So just be mindful of that. Um, what else? What else? What else? You can jump queues if someone's ahead of you and they're taking their sweet ass time undressing and removing their fucking jewelry. Remember the jewelry and the chains and watches I told you not to wear? Obviously, you will 100%, without a matter of a doubt, you will find someone ahead of you or a woman with all the makeup and the jewelry and the chains and the watches and the wallet, and they'll be over there removing all that garbage. I mean, okay, yes, of course you can be in a queue and it's polite to not jump the queue, but if this piece of shit is taking their time to remove all this shit, what you can do is grab a tray quickly, put your shit in that tray because you wouldn't have a lot of shit. All you'll have is the three things I just told you: your phone, your charger, wristband, I remember, your phone, your charger, maybe your headphones, and your wallet and your passport. You put that in the tray and your shoes. Put that in the tray. That's it. I mean, what more do you need? Dump that in the tray. Put the tray on the trolley thingy and just walk through the metal detector while that guy is still taking out his watch and his rings and his. So I mean, just have some freaking common sense, man. I don't understand why people need to travel with all this bling and shit on their bodies, and they know very well that they're going to be told you need to get this shit out of your freaking. Just remove it. We need to walk you through this metal detector, right? It's ridiculous. Anyway, and the last point is duty-free shops are a ripoff. Absolutely. Fuck, I will never, ever again, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, over my dead freaking body will I ever buy from a duty-free shop at the airport because these guys are such a ripoff. Their prices are so freaking exorbitant. I mean, it's not only just Kenya, but I mean everywhere. Doha Airport, Heathrow is the worst. God damn. I remember I bought just a small packet of M&Ms and like a couple of like Toblerones and stuff. I was like, "Oh, I'll just pick up some chocolates and stuff." Um, I think instead of shoes, just put on slippers. It's easy. Exactly, exactly. Just have slippers. You don't even need shoes. What the freaking hell are you wearing shoes for? You're not going in a meeting. You're traveling. You're gonna be. I mean, in fact, if you had socks and slippers on, right, or sandals and socks, you get onto the plane. You just take off your sandals, tuck them under the seat, and you can put your legs up if you want. Because you're comfortable. You want to be comfortable as possible because you're going to be sitting in that position for 8 hours. So you don't want to wear like a suit. I've seen I've seen people wear suits. He's 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 put on a suit. He's wearing all the dress shoes, those hard, pointy dress shoes, and they stink. And he's just there with his, oh, look at me, I'm traveling. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're traveling. You're not going for a meeting. No one's gonna take a picture of you. It's ridiculous, man. So I always tell people just be as comfortable as possible, and that's it. Duty free shops are a ripoff. Already talking about that. I mean that's there's nothing else I can say about that, man. If you want to buy anything, just buy it before you travel, man. Don't fucking go into the airport and start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up some M&Ms." I thought that I could pick up some chocolates. Like I've already bought some chocolates and stuff. I put it in a suitcase, and I thought, okay, you know what? When I get into the airport and I look at the duty free shops, maybe I can buy more stuff and put it inside my carry on. but the things were so goddamn expensive. Like, what the hell am I going to even buy here, you know? So, yeah, I just kind of felt like that was just a complete and utter waste. I think that's it, guys. Yeah, that's about it, man. Uh, do's and don'ts, do's and don'ts. There's nothing else that I can add here. Is there any other videos that I want to share? That's it, I guess. That's it. So, guys, I hope you learned something, and thank you so much for checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next weekend. Hopefully, I'll try and get rid of the beard. Obviously, once No Shave November ends, I mean, this is the first November I've ever tried this thing, so let's see what happens. Let's see, let's see by the end of November how bushy this gets. I will try and keep it in check. Don't worry about it, guys. And thank you, Rispa, once again for checking out the channel, and for anyone else that did check out the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.